Hey, welcome to the Good Place Marionville podcast, dedicated to highlighting the good that's going on right here in Marionville, Missouri. On each episode, we share stories and events that feature why Marionville is a good place to live and to work. Our team brings you updates from various perspectives, including reports from local journalists, everyday citizens, city officials, school representatives, businesses, and nonprofits.
Today's episode will continue our commitment to showcase the goodness in Marionville, uniting our community through shared stories of hope and optimism. While mainstream news often focuses on the negative, our town's potential and rich history deserve to be celebrated and shared. So hang out with us for a little while as we cover some of the good this week.
All right, Martha, we got a lot of stuff to cover, and we got a special in-studio guest.
That's right. So I just want to encourage everybody to keep up the good work. The community food pantry at City Hall is getting a lot of use. And, it's been fun to see this past week on Facebook how much you have stocked it up. If for any chance it is full at the time that you bring stuff, just take it into City Hall and they will make sure to replenish it as needed. Jim, what's going on tonight?
So tonight is the monthly city alderman, city council, the mayor's there kind of meeting. So in other words, every month our city aldermen meet together with the mayor and have a city council meeting, or maybe it's a board of aldermen meeting.
Yes.
They do that. These meetings are open to the citizens. It's a great place to find out what's going on in town. It's free to attend. You don't have to pay. And there's even a chance for you to share from a citizen's perspective if you got something nice to say or a question to be asked of the council. We've got new council members, new aldermen. It'd be great to be there. It happens tonight at 6:30 over at the firehouse.
I love the school news. And, Jim, this is it. We're at the end of the school year, and Greg Hopkins has sent us a lot of details.
Greg Hopkins, principal at the high school in Marionville,
has sent us a lot of details for the end of the year. So we're going to just start rattling them off. And the first thing is softball. The girls finished the season 15-9, falling to Sparta. Actually, it should say 0-8, right? Since they fell.
Well, Sparta had 8.
Sparta had 8.
0.
We had 0 in the district semifinal game, but way to go, girls.
Baseball currently sitting at 10-7, got the number 1 seed in districts. Open district play Friday at 4:30.
Track. There are many students that made it past districts and will compete on Saturday at sectionals. The top 4 in each event will make it to state, which is the following Saturday. And those students are Gabe Utini. Oh, man, I should have practiced this. Utini in the 400 meter.
Cash Pomeroy, javelin and shot.
The 4x10, Laney Stokes, Dally Pomeroy, Lincoln Mace, and Avery Eden.
Avery Eden made it to all 4 of her events.
Wow.
And including the 10-20 triple jump, 4x100 relay. She made it into all of those. That's
the
fantastic.
100, the 200, the
100,
triple jump.
the 200, the triple jump, the 4. Wow. We're trying to get too much in a really short
Avery,
time.
way to go. All right. Graduation was this last Sunday, and it is amazing. It went off without a hitch that anyone knows of anyway. And there were 45 graduates. And I know they did a wonderful job even honoring Jeff Norris.
It's a great thing they did it in the gym, though, because
oh my goodness,
it would have been a river graduation had it been outside on the football field.
All right, another school news. Summer school begins on May 20th.
Wait, summer school. Can we get them done with school first?
Yeah, well,
tomorrow.
They're pretty much almost there.
Tomorrow, May the 10th, then's the end of school.
And if you're wondering, Jim, the athletes are going to start their summer workouts on May 20th as well.
I'll be right there with them at 4 o'clock in the morning. Bass fishing. We have a bass fishing team.
It is amazing, too, the stuff that we're going to report here real quickly. So last weekend, Cooper Workman took first place in the Table Rock tournament out of
It's really tough for you to say today.
Out of 480 anglers, which is the equivalent of winning a state championship.
Way to go, Cooper. Do we get to eat that bass?
That's probably going to go on a wall.
Oh, probably go on the wall.
Yeah.
All right, these are the qualifiers for this weekend. The PTA, June 8th on Pomme de Terre.
We should have had you telling say all these
qualifiers for this weekend. What are they qualifying for?
I don't know. They're qualifiers to be in the competition this weekend. They've qualified for this weekend.
For the bass fishing this weekend.
Yes.
Okay, this is from Greg Hopkins. So we're assuming
thank you, Greg. You gave us all this information.
All right, the June 8th Pomme de Terre tournament.
All right, so in 7th was Workman, 18, Grimm Stimson, 35, Guerrero Medlin, and 69 Octus. Out of 163 teams. This is amazing that we have so many.
Boy, Greg, next time we're going to have to not get acronyms from you. On June 9th on Palm
Maybe
Square.
everybody else knows what NYFA is.
That's right. NYF. Do you know what that is?
Not your family affair.
Not your family.
I don't know.
All right. Workman qualifies as number 33, Grimm and Stimson, 89 out of 216 teams. And on May 19th on Table Rock Lake, the Missouri Bass Tournament, Guerin and Medlin out of 32 teams qualified at number 14.
Yes, we know Lauren.
All
that
right.
would be Lauren.
That's
Medlin.
right. That's right. First responders, thanks to everyone working so hard for us to be prepared for our safety during the storms yesterday and last week and the week before and the week before and the week before. Is it always like this in the spring? While the rest of us are hunkered down our homes, yesterday during the storm, the fire department was all over the city with their vehicles so that if anything really does happen, not all the vehicles get damaged at one time, but they're also looking out for storms. They're looking out for tornadoes. They're the spotters in our town. Make sure if you see one of the local volunteer firefighters, you thank them. And anytime something comes up with the storms, they're there to help. They were clearing trees last night and helping people who had damage on their properties just to get things cleared out of the right of way.
You know, that truly is why they are the first responders. And I do love that. And I'm so grateful for all that they're doing. You know, under the business news, I want to do our sponsor highlight right now. So Jim, take it away.
A big shout out to the Bank of Billings. We have a very special guest, Aaron Head. You're going to hear from him in just a minute. Member FDIC equal housing lender. Aaron, you have to tell them we would like some more commercials, but Sarah's been too busy. Thank them for being a sponsor of the Good Place Marionville podcast. The great staff at Bank of Billings is there to handle all your banking needs. They're going to have a brand new branch, and Aaron's going to tell you about it in just a minute, as well as they can take care of home loans, small business loans. Stop in today and say hi and tell them you heard about Bank of Billings right here on the Good Place Marionville podcast.
That's so good.
Random news, Martha?
All right. Under random news, there's still time to complete the Rural Challenges survey. So let your voice be heard. Go to saveyour.town. And there you will find their survey that's going to be up till the end of the month. Take that survey and let them know of challenges that you face being in a rural town because they are helping to make a difference. And I love that.
All right, events. Hugh Eaton is the winner of the Applefest Scholarship this year based on his essay using the theme Celebrating Slices of History Since 1854. Wow, 1854. That means 2020. It's 170 years this year for Marionville.
It sure is.
The essay is posted on the Marionville Applefest.com website, as well as will be printed in this year's Applefest booklet. Speaking of booklet, there's still time till the end of the month to submit an ad for this year's booklet. Martha, is there any spaces left that people can rent for Applefest?
There is. There's still room for booths, for advertisement, for hanging your banners at the cathedral, at the, what do you call that? The
square?
Yes, that down there on the square. So there's lots of options.
The gazebo on the square?
Gazebo.
Is that what you're trying to get
That's
out?
what I was trying to say.
The white thing that's kind of...
I have not had enough sleep because of all these storms, I think. So, and I just want to say the Applefest committee is looking for more volunteers to help in the planning and the execution of this year's Applefest. It doesn't get done without people like you joining us. So our next meeting is right here at Central Place on May 20th. And you can always email me at goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com if you have any questions.
And we're looking for more reporters. Please let us know if you're willing to report stories to us. If you do report a story to us, we will absolutely give you credit right here on the podcast. goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com, or look for us around town. We're all over the place. We run into people all the time. We know you're listening to the podcast, 200 or 300 listeners every week. We want to hear from you. If you've got a story to tell, we want to make sure we report it. Now, Aaron Head's about ready to join us here he's not only working at the Bank of Billings, I think he's like president or something like that at the Bank of Billings, but he's also the president of the Marionville Lions Club. We wanted to hear from him, and make sure, Aaron, you tell him about the winner of the Lions Club scholarship this year. All right. So
awesome. So Jim is going to turn his headset over to Aaron, and we are going to get going with this part of the show. But, I think it's important that we are highlighting the Lions Club because they are the only civic organization here in Marionville. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what the Lions Club does, Aaron, and how people locally can get involved. So thanks for joining me. I'm so glad that you're here. Tell me how long you've been a part of the Lions Club.
So I think going back about 4 years, I started full-time at the bank, and a few of the other lenders had been a part of it. And it was kind of a, hey, come along, and join. And then, so I was a member for a couple years, ended up being with the secretary and treasurer position, and then moved along to the president's role.
Yeah.
So
just to clarify, you are president of the Lions Club, not the bank, but Jim was just having a little fun there for everybody. So.
No, I'm a lender at the bank, and Yes.
Stanton just called.
Gary Stanton just called in case that didn't come across my microphone. So, we're going to talk about the bank a little bit more at the end of this segment, but as, you're representing the bank in your role, I think a little bit at the Lions Club, but what is the main area of service that the Lions Club offers?
The biggest thing that we look at for Lions Club is vision or eye care. Lions is a very large, international company or organization. And we typically focus on one area and then our community. So we try to help out, especially with youth eye care, whether that's exams, glasses, anything that really, insurance wouldn't cover. That's where we try to focus, and we try to be discreet in that, where if we get an invoice, we kind of keep it in-house. We don't really publicize who we're paying, how we pay, or what. Everything is, we try to help out as much as we can in those specific areas. So
that's so awesome. So I love the fact that it is, something that you're discreetly helping with people with, but making sure they're getting the help that they need. So I know that you guys recently made a donation for some equipment at the school, right?
Yep.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Because that's pretty significant.
Yeah, so this was back in the fall. Greg Hopkins, who's also a member of Lions Club, said that there may have been a need at the school or an opportunity to help at the school for a vision eye screener. So this is something that the nurse used to have to refer out to other places to do. She now has a scanner that they can go in and look for symptoms and possible treatments ahead of time to get that. I want to say there's been at least 14 or 15 that Greg had said last meeting. So we worked with Care to Learn on helping assist them, and those funds come directly from our fundraising and go right directly back to the school. So
let's talk about your fundraising, because something has to happen. People need to give. Money needs to be raised to help the Lions Club do the things that they do. So you guys have a couple of major fundraisers you do throughout the year. What are they?
Yeah, we'll take money at any time.
Sure.
I mean, ask Jose. He tries to fine us. I was late the other day and I got fined. If you're not wearing this pin to represent Lions, Jose finds us. So he's a great tail twister.
Good ways to raise money.
Exactly. On the fundraising, the biggest one that we have is our golf tournament. This year it'll be September 7th. Normally we try to do it the first weekend after Labor Day. Weather's still good. Football hasn't necessarily kicked off, even though they've started their season. We typically have had it at Indian Tree. It's a small little drive, but they've treated us really well. We had a really good turnout last year and the year before, so we're trying to get that tradition going. We can take, if you're not a golfer, we have corporate sponsors just like here, as you mentioned. So we have whole sponsors. We have teams that come in. It's typically a good time. The other main one is kind of Randy's project. It would be the White Squirrel calendars. So these are very popular. It's a calendar that has new photos every single year. And that was Randy Smart. Jim kind of mentioned that. I guess I should elaborate a little bit more.
That's okay. All of the people that may not yet know who people are in town, it's important for them to know. And Randy Smart he's a vice president, right, at the Lions Club?
Yep.
So he is quite the photographer of white squirrels and puts together this calendar every year that is such a great fundraising opportunity, and all of those pictures are originals. And we actually had fun this year. We mailed those out to a bunch of people that are a part of our ministry, and that was a fun way to share that across the white squirrels.
Yeah, they love them. We have people that Carrie will come in and get one every year and mail it out to somebody out of state, and it's an interesting group that they always look forward to getting that every single year. It's pretty incredible.
So by getting those white squirrel calendars, you're helping to support the Lions Club, which is then helping to help with vision care right here in our community. So talk quickly about where you guys meet, when you meet, and how we can get involved.
So the Lions Club meets the second and fourth Wednesday at noon. We get to discuss, and we get a great lunch at Alice Irene's. We will go ahead and pay for the first lunch if you as a guest. So you're more than welcome to come. There's no pressure to join. We'd love to kind of grow our membership and expand. We've slowly been doing that over the years. Jim's added on with us, so it's been great.
Is it just for men?
No, absolutely not. So we would men, women, youth, experienced people. I don't like to say
Experienced. We say chronologically superior. That's the way
in
they're
banking, you can't discriminate one way or another. So, experience is the best way that we use it. So.
That's awesome. So people can join you. They can let you know. I know you guys have a Facebook page. If people are even just wondering, they can email us at goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com. And like Aaron mentioned, your first time is free. So just come, lunch is on them. And then your dues help to pay for your lunch in the future. And my goodness, you get to have a good lunch at Alice Irene's every time you go. So tell us the story of impact, Aaron. What is a good story from the Lions Club that has, helped some students in different ways?
The most recent one that we have is our Lions Club scholarship.
Okay.
So we did one last year, and then this year we had the most applicants that we've ever had, which is incredible. It was a very difficult time on choosing the winner. The one we do a $500 non-refundable scholarship, but it's based off of service and work. So a lot of scholarships like the Applefest was based on an essay, which we did one similar, but we tried to differentiate it on where's the volunteer history and then where's the work experience, which was a great way to see all of the information that we had. The winner that we had was Carson Gibson. Couldn't have went to a greater individual. We were so proud that he was so excited. I think it was his grandfather or his uncle came in all the way from Ohio. He had talked to Randy Smart about it and was just thrilled that he had received the award.
That is so neat. So now, is that an academic scholarship, or what did they do with that?
We do it either way. I believe Carson is going to school, but even if he was going to the work field or to do a trade school, we really just base it off of individual and kind of do it that way.
Awesome. That is so great. Anything else you want to tell the listeners about the Lions Club before we kind of focus a little bit on the Bank of Billings, which is a sponsor of this show?
We would love to have you. It's open. It's been in the town for 70 to 80 years. It's a good time. We typically it's very loose and easy to go over, and we would definitely love to have you come.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing about the Lions Club. And, we are grateful to the Bank of Billings for being a sponsor of this show. And they are a member FDIC equal housing lender. And one of the things that I think would be really great right now, Aaron, is to just give us a few of those highlights about what's coming up. You guys have some big news for the Bank of Billings.
Yes. It's a very busy month. Sarah and Carrie take very good care of us on the events coming up, keeping us informed. I had the honor of announcing our 2 scholarship winners last week. We had Caitlin Carr and Garrett Stanton that received our Bank of Billings scholarships. And then next Tuesday, it would be May 14th, we are celebrating our 135th anniversary of the bank. Not as long as the Applefest, but right along there. We'll have some good goodies and swag and also some good cupcakes. So
excellent. Now, do you have to be a customer of the bank?
Absolutely not. No, come say hi. If you see this, mention that you saw it on the podcast. We'll have it at both our Billings and Marionville location.
Okay.
And it should be from 9 to 3 at both of them. So
excellent. That is good news. And that's what we're talking about here at Good Place Marionville. So there's also a lot of questions around when you guys are moving into the new bank.
Correct.
Give us a little update. Inside scoop here.
So inside scoop, I got approval to say this. We will be moving in June the 3rd. So we will actually be moving everything on the 31st of May.
Okay.
It'll be, and then the 3rd is our first day at the new facility. Everybody's really excited. It looks really good. I got to go and tour it with Mark Jenkins, who is our president. Thank you,
go.
And tried to give him a little shout out. Everything looks really good. The construction crew is working really hard to get everything in order. Furniture is supposed to be in this week. So it looks really good. Everybody's excited. And then we will also have a grand opening or an open house, I guess you can say, June 14th, which is Friday. Or a week from Friday, or that Friday.
Yes. I give you a little time to get into your new space in your new house, and then have an open house for everybody. And what an exciting thing happening right here in town. It's so fun to celebrate newness and freshness. And I think that's what your building will represent for people, is just, a new, fresh start. And that's very exciting. And thank you for letting us know about the cupcake celebration for your 135th birthday.
They'll be good, I promise.
That is great. So everybody, you heard it here. You're invited to come and join it. We are just so grateful for the Bank of Billings being a sponsor of this great platform where you can highlight local businesses and show your support of the good things that are happening right here in Marionville. So I want you to consider becoming a sponsor, and you can contact us at goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com. And there's many different sponsorship levels that you can choose from. We need your help. It's going to take a small army of reporters to keep up with all the stories of good that are happening in Marionville. So please let us know if you'd like to contribute reports regularly or just on the fly by emailing us at goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com, or the phone number is 417-677-8167. And if you ever wonder, that's the phone number that's on the side of Central Place, our building here. If you're just driving by and wondering how to get a hold of us, just call that number. Give us some good news. I want to thank you for joining us for the Good Place Marionville podcast. Keep your eyes out for the good, and together we can celebrate Marionville.